Well, welcome to the Alchemist Manifesto, a podcast with Mario Obando and Daniel Topete. A podcast dedicated to two friends holding space and making time to have holistic and humanizing pláticas and charlas with the aim of alchemizing our individual experiences into shared healing and wisdom. The amistad that produces this podcast emerges from a shared commitment to social justice as teachers and scholars in the fields of critical and relational ethnic studies, and, of course, our creative and everyday efforts to imagine better worlds with our loved ones, communities, and spirits.
Rather than a conventional written manifesto, our podcast welcomes you to an evolving, living, and breathing journey rooted in the beauty of alchemy through amistad and the palabras, cuentos, and testimonios that emerge in the sacred ceremony of bringing our spirits together and transmitting them with you. We channel a welcome via the late great Prince, the Purple King of Minneapolis, where Danny and I met. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to get through this thing called life. And through the late great Walter Mercado, who once transmitted through the television airwaves in our family's homes in the San Gabriel Valley that we both grew up in. And as we'd love to transmit through these streaming wavelengths, we hope you receive from us peace, pero sobre todo, mucho, mucho, mucho amor. May every spiritual and ancestral energy that tunes in here feel the frequencies of love and liberation we vibrate out in this Alchemist Manifesto. I'm Mario Alberto Obando, and I'm here with my homie and co-host of the podcast, Danny Topete. Danny, thank you so much for being here with me and sharing space. Over the past 7+ years of our friendship, Danny and I have talked about the possibility of doing a podcast to first and foremost commit time to sharing space together and to share our stories, life experiences, and friendship with whoever in the world finds them and receives them with the cariño they're sent out with.
Hi, I'm Daniel Topete. During this unprecedented global pandemic, where our mortality, alienation, isolation and loneliness, sadness, despair, and severe anxiety reign, our urge to connect, our amistad has grown, especially since it's even more difficult to make committed time to share our space together. By coming together virtually and doing this podcast, we hope we can encourage others to come together and make sense of the world and the beauty of friendship in the heart and spirit.
Our podcast shares stories of alchemy. We do this to offer each other and those who listen space, time, and energy in the fragile, delicate present that we have, and in humility try to create within our fragile time on earth. Alchemy, often defined as the seemingly magical process of transformation, creation, and combination, is critical to our process here. For me, our friendship is alchemy, two lived experiences that come together to generate and create something anew. Alchemy, for us, also changes our frame of reference. We do not merely discuss combination to express mixed methods in academia, but we do so to heal our bodies, minds, and spirits. Therefore, our alchemy is not just a mixture of sorts towards an intellectual endgame, but in our evolving, breathing, and healing journeys. In academia, we often talk about interdisciplinary, which basically means use of a variety of methods to answer and study things. But we often neglect to think of the holistic, which is cultivating and planting the seeds for a flourishing and blossoming life, rooted in taking care of our spirits, mind, and heart. Danny and I have an interdisciplinary perspective to topics. We discuss music, film, food, culture, therapy, politics, identity, relationships, growth, teaching, education, and the list goes on. But we will root it in how they make us feel holistically. This is our Alchemist Manifesto, to not just be interdisciplinary to innovate a field of study, but to cultivate seeds of love and liberation in our communities.
I totally agree that this is crucial to focus on the holistic aspects of our communal learning. These thoughts and narratives are not just things of the past. They are living, breathing testaments left by our ancestors to warn us and inform us. How do we internalize and grow from these legacies? How do we begin the process of accessing those messages? I see this podcast as an extension of a world you and I have been creating for us. To use the knowledge and skills we develop from each other, our communities, and academia to create another space that we can share, just like we do in our classrooms.
Themes that we will cover are wide-ranging. You can expect social commentary that is at once pulling from multiple ways of knowing and being and methods, but is also holistic, pulling in from us as people, not just researchers and teachers, but as one and the same. And of course, rooted in our context of friendship. We will feature interviews with writers, discuss books, films, and media, as well as share our stories of growth. I'm excited to grow and learn throughout this process. Thanks for joining us at the Alchemist Manifesto. Two friends holding space and making time to have holistic and humanizing pláticas with the aim of alchemizing our individual experiences into shared wisdom and healing.
We hope you can join us for future episodes as we continue our journey to alchemize and transform our day-to-day experiences into positive and healing energies.
If you're ever feeling stuck, never forget that from the mud grows the lotus.
We would like to give a shout out and a special thanks to Jaime A. Talavera for the intro music to this podcast. We appreciate you.